Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in today. I'm excited that you can join us as we continue with our series on work ethic. And work ethic, as we've defined in the past videos, is the principle that hard work and determination bring about success. So when you put in the hard work, when you're determined and you get up every morning, you go to work on time, you are professional, you are a great team player, you do all of these things consciously, it's going to bring about success. There is no gainsaying about this. So today, if you've made it so far in our series, we are just going to go in and talk about, how to show your employer that you have a good work ethic. It's very important. Sometimes we have all of these qualities, or we portray these characteristics that point to a good work ethic, but we don't know how to portray that and even how to demonstrate that in an interview. For instance, I know many of you watching might have been to an interview, or you have one planned in the days ahead. Make sure that you can portray that you have a good work ethic. And how can you do that? I'm here to answer that for you in today's video. Without any further ado, the very first thing in portraying your work ethic to the people is that you have to include work ethics skills on your resume. So some of the things that we've discussed are like punctuality, like honesty, team player, and doing a host of other things. Make sure that you highlight those things in your resume. It doesn't hurt. So have them. People love to know that you are a very productive person. They love to know that you are focused, you're ambitious, you're organized, and all of the other good things. They will kind of bring some, color and some, value to your curriculum vitae or your resume. So make sure that you highlight this in a very, straightforward manner, I would say, the point form. One of the things I would advise you do is, as you seek to highlight your work ethic in your resume, is to kind of relate that to your experience as a professional. The things that you've been able to accomplish in your career, you can highlight those in your resume and relate them to the work ethic that you have or that you've developed over the years. So do that. And the next thing on how to portray your work ethic to your employer is that you can mention your skills on your cover letter. So mention those things in your cover letter. Make sure that you can mention the skills that are related to your strong work ethic. That is very important. For example, you can include that, you're looking for challenging opportunities. That's already pointing to you being ambitious. An employer would very much appreciate if you can do that. And of course, you can also highlight that you are hardworking. It's very important. So this kind of relates to the last point where we talked about you mentioning your work ethic skills in your resume or your curriculum vitae. So in your cover letter is basically, the summary of who you are, the things you've accomplished, your skills, and all of that into a very short letter that accompanies your resume or curriculum vitae, in your job application. So make sure that in your cover letter, in that letter, that you highlight your skills and those skills that relate again to your work ethic. And thirdly, express your work ethic skills during your interviews. If you're going to go through a series of interviews with that company that you're looking to work for, make sure that you don't fail to mention your work ethic. So talk about that. I often say brag about, the fact that you're productive, if truly you're productive, and the fact that you're someone who's very organized. Brag about that, and I mean this in a very positive manner. I'm not saying, stick out your finger in front of your potential employer and kind of be proud in the way you talk about these things. But if you can sell yourself this way, that is very important. It's crucial. Please talk about your work ethic during the interview phase, and this is very important. And I want to go down and talk about a couple of things under this point of expressing your work ethic skills during the interviews. You cannot do this by talking. because you're going to be talking about a lot of things, and work ethic is the one thing that you can show. You can show punctuality by coming early to that interview. So make sure that you come maybe 30 minutes, 15 minutes before the scheduled time, and you're there on time, and that you dress properly. As we said, part of being having a good work ethic means that you dress and that you are someone who is professional. Professionalism relates to dress code. So make sure that you dress right for that interview and that you're professional. Speak politely during the interview. Sometimes they ask you a question and you just jump into the answer. Oftentimes, I find it very helpful to thank the person for the question, especially if it's a very thoughtful question, or if it's a question that hits very hard, at the core of the things that you love doing or the things that you're addressing at that point. So be respectful in the way you approach that interview, respond to questions appropriately, and just make sure that you're not, going out of the way, and saying things that are untruthful. Practice open body language, You see what I'm doing here? Don't go to an interview and you're like this. You have got to be like this and talk. If as much as possible, try to use body language. Not saying you conduct the interview, but oftentimes I struggle with this. But if you see, I'm trying to keep my hands down, but they keep sticking out. So during the interview, use open body language and make sure that you're very conservative with that body language. Don't overdo it, as it's going to also cause problems. So mention your eagerness to work and to be part of the team. That's showing that you're someone who's ambitious and you're looking forward to being a team player and contributing to the success of the organization, of the company. So provide examples of your work experience and how that relates to your work ethic skills. So find a way to talk about how you had maybe a strong assignment, that meant that you had to do so many things, and how you organized that. And that made it easy because you were able to organize your tasks and you were able to prioritize them. You were punctual to work and you remain productive. So you have to find a way to mainstream that in the interview. So it's been a very wonderful time talking about work ethic. And this is a journey that all of us are currently undertaking, developing our careers. But if you're going to grow in your career, you definitely have to take work ethic seriously. I want to end by encouraging everyone. If you're just starting out, mid-level, you are intermediate, you are in a managerial position, all of that, you've not arrived yet, right? So continue to learn, to improve yourself, find areas where you are falling short, and give yourself a nudge and continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to develop, continue to improve yourself. And I want to address particularly my friends back in Africa, all across the countries of Africa. I see a very carefree spirit when it comes to work. People treat their work as if it's nothing, as if they don't have any value for it. As long as they've had the job, they just sleep. When it comes to work ethic standards, the first few months, or maybe during the interview, they are punctual. And as soon as they start to settle in that position, they develop wings. They no longer come to work on time. They talk rudely to their coworkers. And when they start to gain promotion, they feel like they can step on people. If they feel like they've arrived, that is definitely a very terrible attitude and a very terrible thing to do. And it's an easy way to fail in your work in the long term. So make sure that you are consciously working on yourself and improving yourself and understanding that you've not arrived yet. Even if you're the boss, you still have to continue to grow and develop yourself and deliver good results. As of course, we have to be accountable. We have to report to someone at the end of the day, either here on earth or in heaven above, or in the life after. There has to be an accountability of what we did with our skills and with our time here on earth. And thank you very much for watching, and thank you for subscribing. If you've not already done so, please remember to subscribe. It takes you about now, maybe 3 seconds to subscribe and like the video. As when you do that, YouTube's gonna, the way the algorithm is designed is that the more likes we get, the more this is being recommended to other people. If you like the content, please share it with your friends and let them know the things that we're covering on the channel. May God bless you.